wrestlers everywhere fear his powerful web. Beware, for he is Archnaman, and his day has come.
What the hell is that?
These videos are satiric reviews. You don't have to agree, but don't bitch about it. I hate this channel.
Hey there, I'm Social Injustice Warrior Infuso, and sometimes on this channel, we talk about wrestling. And this is one of those times. Wrestling is a lot like comics. They're always trying to hop on the next bandwagon in an effort to stay relevant. Granted, I still love both mediums, but that's beyond the point. Anyway, a lot like how Marvel Comics pretty much copy DC's established characters. See example 1 through 100 over here. I mean, seriously, some of these are blatant. Anyway, my point is, a lot like how Marvel copied DC, Marvel would find itself being on the opposite end of that spectrum, being copied by WCW of all things. And that's not to say that something based on something else is doomed to be a failure. Especially in wrestling, that's not always how it works. I mean, the Honky Tonk Man successfully ripped off Elvis. Sting successfully ripped off The Crow. And Sting successfully ripped off the Joker. And Arachnaman ripped off... I mean, do I even really need to say it? His name was Archnaman. Archnaman. I'm pretty sure you could take an educated guess as to who it was he was trying to ape. I mean, he just looks and sounds like an Elseworld Spider-Man story that I never wish to read. I don't want any part of that. It's like the 60s Japanese Spider-Man show, except that much dumber and a lot less eventful. This is kind of like what I was expecting when Topher Grace was cast in Spider-Man 3. And you know what? If this was the end result, I personally think it would have been a better movie. I would have seen it twice. You know what though? I do find it pretty amazing that all the things that make Spider-Man Spider-Man are all the things that make Arachnaman suck. The suit, the webs, and by webs I mean silly string. They made this man come out there in silly string. The everything. It's just terrible. It's just all terrible. I don't want any part of any of that. This looks like a scheme old J. Jonah Jameson cooked up to get a receipt on Spidey. Decades before Stan Lee would actually die, he was already rolling in his grave thanks to you. What's even sadder is that the man behind the mask was no Ben Reilly. It was none other than Brad Armstrong. Probably best known today by wrestling fans as the Road Dogg's brother. And he was a talented worker in his own right, but he just never seemed to get a gimmick that worked in his favor. And the fact that this same company would later on just flat out tell him to copy his more successful brother, hey, you know what your brother's doing, just do the same thing. Do the same thing, we'll get you a tie-dye t-shirt, it's completely different now. That's included on that list. This failed in spectacular ways, pun intended. As apparently Arachnaman's time was cut short because someone at Marvel was none too pleased with having WCW, what's the nice way of putting it? Okay, I know you can't see the air quotes here, but try to imagine them. Paying tribute. The people at Marvel were none too pleased with having WCW paying tribute to their top property. And plus, these guys had it hard enough, didn't they? I mean, there was even some other wrestler out there going around copyright infringing the Hulk and even tore his clothes off in a similar manner. Poor Marvel, they just couldn't catch a break in the wrestling game.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. You're watching the Social Injustice Warrior Infuso's channel, dude. So if you like the words that came out of his mouth hole, and you too want to become a VTard, don't forget to like and subscribe, and click that little bell icon to get updates and notifications. Ooh, tell him what up, Mach. Ooh, yeah. Follow the man on Twitter, yeah, because we all know it's not stalking if it's on the internet, yeah. Join the madness by joining the Discord, and if you have a moment of time and a free dollar to spare, head over to the SIJW's Patreon, dig it, where you can request videos, get exclusive videos, and early access to content, yeah. Or go down to PayPal, where you can buy the shirts, brother. But most importantly, just remember, if you're not tuning in, then you're missing out.